Hello and welcome to Luna and the Druids, a channel where we're going to talk about spirituality, wheel of year, and magic. I am Luna, and I'm delighted to have Jan with me. Jan, hello and welcome.
Thank you, Luna. Nice to be here as well in our new show. Really looking forward to this cooperation, and hopefully we'll do many shows together of Luna and the Druid. Tell me a bit about yourself.
I am a card reader, a holistic life coach, and energy healer. And I love to talk about magic. I love to talk about spirituality. That's my life, actually. And I love to share my knowledge, my wisdom, and my insights with other people. And I'm delighted to meet Jan, to have a great partner to have those conversations. Jan, would you like to talk about yourself? What is that you're doing? Because it's very interesting what you do.
Well, I thought it was interesting what you do, but okay, let's answer your question. Um, I am a druid. Identify as a druid. I studied druidry for 20 years at the Order of Bards, Ovids, and Druids. I lead an obot, a grove here in Killarney, the Grove of Anu. Besides that, I'm a card reader as well. I specialize on the tarot. I'm a life coach, and I'm a spiritual mentor. And as a druid, we work with nature, with the elements, with the seasons, and we also do in the Druid Grove get-togethers, but also hand fastings and Druid ceremonies.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Uh, could you explain in more details what actually Druidism is for those who've never heard about what Druid is?
Yeah. Well, we call ourselves modern Druids. So Druidism is, of course, an ancient practice that goes back to the Roman times, to the pre-Christian times, especially in Brittany, in France, in Ireland, and in the country that's now called the United Kingdom. That's where the Druids came from. They were the specialized caste in their tribes. Smaller tribes had the Druid as their leader, or they were just the supports for their leaders. Uh, yeah, that's what they did. With the coming of Christianity and at the end of the Roman era, Druidism became extinct. Druids were murdered, sacrificed, and later on converted into monks and scribes. So the first written texts we have from these days, most obviously were partly written by the old Druids. That's fortunate because of that fact. We know a little about how they were and how they acted. Then in the 17th century, so after more than 1,000 years of being below the surface, there came from Freemasonry a revival, a romantic Druid revival. Uh, Things were rediscovered, also reinvented or invented. We had the books of Bardas by Iolo Morganuk, or especially important is The White Goddess by Robert Graves. Books like that created a new kind of Druidry, based loosely on what the old Druids practiced, but now more, more in a timely manner, still relevant to the current day and age, because lots of the roles the old Druids have are now done by specialized people, by teachers, by legal advisors, by lawyers, by priests, of course. And we say Druidry is not necessarily a religion, so we don't have sacred books, and we don't specify, or for instance, what gods or goddesses Druids should worship. So there can be Christian Druids, pagan Druids, atheist Druids, Buddhist Druids, Viking Druids. We have all flavors because
Wow.
it's a spirituality that's complementary to many other paths.
Okay, so what is it based on? Is there any guidance? Like, for example, paganism, follow the wheel of year.
Yeah,
How it
yeah,
is with Druids?
yeah. When you start learning about Druidism or reading about Druidism, you will automatically notice that there is a few important aspects. Myths and legends are extremely important. That these are treasure troves of knowledge and of wisdom, of course. Then we have the pagan beliefs, the wheel of the year, the following the seasons, finding the divine in nature, finding the divine, animism, like being animistic, finding the divine in a tree, in a beautiful rock, in a river, or in a
Mhm.
mountain. These are sacred places, and when you, for instance, would mirror that with modern Christian religions, for instance, you could say uh, we believe that we see God in everything in creation, and that's why we look different at creation. We don't see creation as something we can just take from and destroy. No, we see creation as something sacred, and we see ourselves as stewards or as earth keepers, as keepers of creation.
That's amazing. I love the kind of holistic approach to so many aspects of being human, having beliefs, being out in the nature and connecting with nature. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I said, you don't necessarily, as a druid, you don't necessarily have to have certain beliefs. What we share when we get together with other druids is our love for nature
Oh, that's fantastic. That
and for,
resonates so much with
yeah,
me as well.
yeah. I
Could
can
you tell
imagine.
us a little bit about how did you come across? When did you decide that this is your path?
Well, before you can follow it, you have to know it exists. Obviously, you have to know it exists. And I found out um, that it had existed by reading books. A very inspiring one for me in the 80s was the book The Mists of Avalon by Marion Bradley that came out in the early 80s, I think 1983, 1,000 pages.
Okay.
For the time, it was a very advanced book because it was feministic. So it told the Arthurian legend, which plays in the end of paganism and the coming of Christianity, but it tells it from the aspect, from the view of the women. There are such an important role in the legend, and uh, if you read it now, uh, it's already a bit backwards. Things we regarded as very progressive then would now be prone to cancel culture or whatever. But at the time, it was very progressive because women were in power there. They were important in these legends. They played an important role, protagonists and stuff like that. So that was a very progressive book. In the book, of course, we had Merlin, the super druid, as the wizard, but the super druid. And I read about the priestess of the goddess on the Isle of Avalon, the druids that were in all communities. And I started thinking, let's see if there's something there. And then it just came about that there was a druid order. There were people there, and there was a course you could follow. And even by then, a course you could follow to become a druid, which would
Wow.
take you 5, 6, 7 years. And I think, yeah, let's do it. Let's start there. The druid course took me 30 years, like a normal druid would have done in the old days, because I took lots of sidetracks. So, for instance, you get lots of topics, and I found so many topics interesting that I said, okay, let's forget the druid course. Let's do this topic first. So I have some specializations as a druid, like tarot,
Oh,
like the laws of attraction, manifestation, uh, like the sidetrack into Buddhism, which I did. Uh, Druidism is open to all these ideas because we can learn from all of them. And so anything that can be converted into wisdom or knowledge or usable knowledge can be part of your Druid practice.
That is fascinating, and thank you for sharing. And I'm looking
Okay.
forward to all of our conversations, because with all
Yeah.
your knowledge and wisdom, you have so much to share, isn't it?
Well,
Recent,
that's for both of us.
thank you.
Tell me, how long are you practicing? How do you approach the healing work you do?
My journey of awakening happened after a very challenging period in my life, and often it starts like this. Uh, One thing led to another. I met a friend who convinced me that meditation would be good for me, and my life went and took on the path which actually I had no choice but just follow that. And one thing led to another. Meditation led me to discover that there is so much more than just the body, that I connected with my soul and I started to listen to its voice. And then tarot came into my life as well as a result of that. I could hear spirit whispering to my ear that I need to start looking into the cards. So, and I did, and I was absolutely fascinated by it. And for a good few years, it was just a passion of mine. I was reading cards just for fun, not thinking even of doing it for other people's. But then it's automatically started to be my journey as well, because when you read cards you want to share this gift with others, because it's one of the greatest healing tools and guiding tools actually. For me, when I read cards, it's always a guidance and a way of looking within myself if I read cards for myself, or I help other people to look into their life and find perhaps a different way of looking at some aspects of their life. And obviously, with card readings, I started to discover many other of my gifts. And then I came across Reiki. Uh, and Reiki is the modality where you heal with the energy. It's the universal flow of energy, which can be activated within all of us. Everyone can actually do it. Obviously, there is a certain process you need to go through with the attunement and everything, but Reiki is such a beautiful modality where you work with energy even without being connected to other person in a physical realm. And then when I discovered Reiki, I started to discover many more modalities. And actually, I created my own holistic way of approaching healing itself when I combine Reiki with angelic healing and other things I'm guided to do as well. So
Guided by
it's,
Luna.
yes, that's how Guided by Luna was born, because I feel that my path and my absolute, my purpose, and as well as my absolute pleasure, is to guide people on their own journey, on their path through awakening. Because awakening journey can be tough and challenging. It's not all butterflies and rainbows. It's actually hard work on ourselves, healing work, which can be very tough, can be very difficult, but very rewarding. Because when you get to on the other side of it, oh my goodness, it's a whole new experience, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yes.
Well said.
Jan,
Yes.
recently I read an amazing blog, amazing article you posted on your Facebook about time between time, and I was fascinated by it. Could you please shortly describe what it is about?
Time between time.
Yes.
Yes. Time between time is is a concept where we come to a certain time of the year or time in our lives or uh, and do not make the move yet to the next time. And for instance, in this time of the year, we have entered the month of November, and November we celebrate in people's terms, we celebrate Halloween. We as spiritual people following the wheel of the year, and especially in Ireland, we call it Samhain, or Samhain it's called as well, but Samhain. And Samhain actually is the name of the month November in the Irish language. So the whole month of November is the month of Samhain. When we celebrate Samhain on the 30th of October, we celebrate something we could call New Year's Eve. It's the end of the year, the end of the year, and especially for the people in the old days, it was the end of the year because the grain was off the fields, the crops were off the fields, the potatoes were not there probably, but the vegetables were in the storage, the apples were in the storage, the food was stored up. There were some animals were already killed, so they wouldn't have to be maintained during the winter, and that's when they celebrate the Night of the Dead, when the veils between the world are thinner. We commemorate the ones that went before. And what struck me in the beginning, the first time I went to such a gathering many years ago, that at the end of the celebration, at the end of the ceremony, we all said Happy New Year on the 30th of October. Very interesting. um, Down the line, I developed the idea of, okay, I can live with the time of the old year, but in my personal perspective, New Year begins with the return of the light.
Oh,
New
wow.
Year begins on the winter solstice, or in down south at the summer in the 21st of June, but here in where we live, 21st of December, we have the winter solstice. And then the concept came. So we say goodbye to the year at the 30th of October, and we welcome the new year at the 21st of December. And what's the time in between? Yeah, there's time here and time there. Time between
Oh,
time.
wow.
And we can use that time. We can use that time for our betterment. We can go into meditation. We can make up the balance of the year. So finalize something. What we also do in the night is let go of things. So we say goodbye to things, and we start thinking about what will the next year bring? What will our next harvest be? So we go inwards. We go inwards like the hermit in the tarot. The hermit is not only a monk that lives in a hermitage in the forest on his own. The hermit is also a card of contemplation, of making up balance, thinking, what have I done? What am I going to do? You do it. It's an inward process. The hermit meditates. The hermit, as you can see, he shines his light. He shines his light on the path ahead. He looks what's coming for me. He goes inwards,
Yeah.
looks for his inner wisdom, says, okay, this was my achievement this year, and this is what's coming for me in the next year.
Wow. He looks like a wise man.
He is in the cards. He is. For modern people, this might be a bit more difficult. I have, for instance, finalized my Irish tour of 33 tarot reading shows with the holistic fairs all over Ireland. Yesterday was the last day of the year, so now even till early February, I'm without work. I have a very big time between time, a very long break of introspection. If I could give an advice to modern people how to work with it, work with it as you can, even in this time, and if you cannot, save it for a time that suits you better. For instance, I know many people, especially when Christmas and New Year fall in the middle of the week, sometimes with three holidays taken from your office job, you can have a 9-day holiday, and that would also be a perfect time to make up your balance, to make up your mind for the year ahead, and go within and step out of the rat race, because so many people just live from one day to another, like it's Groundhog Day every day for them. Take this time, and then don't go on an active holiday, or don't go rushing around in cars and drive here and drive there. No, stay inside with the fire. Celebrate Christmas with the family. Sit together, have do some festivities, but also take some days to journal, to write down your ideas, to let it all out, and be prepared for a new year ahead.
That's amazing. I asked you this question and I asked about this post specifically because I was hoping to get some advice and a little bit of insight on how you celebrate this time and what is your way of spending this time and what is your insight about this, I believe, very important time of slowing down. Like I myself love to slow down at this time of the year as well. I go inwards, I read a lot of books, and I even stop my social life a little bit and become that hermit from that card just to get some new insight. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yes. What else would you say would be important, like for a druid at this time of the year? What else is important? Are there any celebrations or maybe rituals?
Well, we had our big celebration, of course, at the 30th of October, and um, we as Druids, some of us do, but not all of us. For instance, do lunar celebrations. But you might maybe in a later episode of this of our working together shine a light on that, because I know you're a bit more. Involved in lunar magic, in moon magic, and the
That's
moon
correct.
celebrations. So for us, our next thing, our next event will be the 21st of December.
Oh, I see.
And of course, the 21st of December, the winter solstice, uh, is especially in Ireland an important time. We celebrate the return of the light. We also
Hmm.
celebrate, as Druids in our tradition, we call it Alban Arthan. So Alban is the festival of Arthan. Uh, there's two names. Arthan is of course Arthur, the king from the Mist of Avalon, but Arthan is also the bear. Arth is another name for bear. So he was the bear king. So it's
Wow.
the birth of the bear king. And the winter solstice, of course, is very important for bears because they hold their winter sleep there. They have their own time between time.
I love this time
Yeah.
between time.
Time
That's
between
so
time
deep.
when you go into the winter sleep, like a bear,
Exactly.
and then the middle of the winter sleep, of the turning point in the winter sleep, comes at Alban Arthan, the winter solstice, and we
Wow.
go, and the light returns uh, slowly but surely. Can I tell you a little secret, a little thing nobody knows? That in Ireland, um, the celebration of the winter solstice in Newgrange is very famous. It's there had been many years
That's
that
correct.
the sunrise at the winter solstice at Newgrange was broadcasted live on the telly, because in this 5,000-year-old structure, in the entrance there is a roof box above the entrance, and exactly at the sunrise at the winter solstice, the light of the sun comes into the roof box. It's like a cairn. It's like a pyramid without the points, but like a cairn. And there's a room in the middle, 20 meters deep, and the light shines on the back wall of that room. Only on
Wow.
only on that day, with only on that the day before and after as well. So only on the few days of the wind that when the days are shortest, the morning sun shines into that thing. Now the
That's
secret.
amazing.
Now the secret.
Yes.
This is
I'm
East,
excited.
East Island, where the sun comes up in the east. And of course, as we know, the sun goes down again in the west. And hardly anyone knows that in the west, there is a stone circle that's aligned on the sun's set of the same day,
Wow.
turning the island of Ireland into one big astronomical clock representing the winter solstice. It's the Drumbeck Stone Circle in West Cork, in County Cork, and the sunset at that day shines through the heart of this ancient stone circle, similar to Stonehenge, where the midsummer sun comes up through the heart of the henge. And
That is fascinating.
yeah, and by the way, I might have a nice idea for us. We should go there to Drumbeck on the 21st of December.
That I love this. Yeah, let's do that.
And celebrate the return of the light. Not at sunset, not at sunrise, but at sunset.
I'm in.
You're in?
And let's take our viewers as well.
We take the viewers with us. We take the cameras. We
Yes,
film it. Yeah,
absolutely.
let's go there.
That's fantastic.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
We have a plan.
please, that's brilliant. I'm thinking now, you have so much knowledge and you have so much practical tips and
Come
advice.
on.
If somebody who's watching this would like to find out more about Wheel of Year, about the Druidism itself,
Yeah.
what would be the good source of information? What would you recommend?
There are very good books about the subject. I recently received a new one. I'm reviewing at the moment. If it's good, there's going to be a review in Pagan Island magazine. That's the Book of Druidry by Christopher Hughes. So don't buy it yet. Wait for my review. And we at the Grove of Anu will start up a new Druidism course on the 1st of January.
Oh,
you can sign
so
up.
there is a course available.
There's a course available. It will be the total course can be done in 2 years, but you can do it in 3-month sections. So you can sign up for 3 months, then for the next, and for the next, and for the next, then 2 years around. First one is about the Wheel of the Year. The second one is more about Druidic wisdom. And in our previous group, we have now been working for nearly 3 years, so they go into the 4th year now. So they're practically Druids. But
Wow,
we
that's
start up a
amazing.
new course. We're at this moment we're redoing the material. We're revising all the material, so it will be new, fresh content, actual, and especially we learn how to incorporate practical things of Druidry in your daily life. So it's not pure theory. There's going to be a lot of theory, but also a lot of meditation and a lot of practical things you can do to live more attuned to nature, to live more attuned to the inner world. It's a path of self-development, and if people are interested, send an email to info@groveofanu.com. We'll put the email address and the website in the comments. And
yes, in the description box, you
the
will find more
description.
information about it.
Yeah, we'll
Yes, well,
put
I
it
had
there.
this little sneak peek into that as well, and I was fascinated by the topics you touch on, and I think it's well worth looking and getting yourself familiar with the topics.
There's a whole world opening for you when you haven't been there yet. It's something to look into. I was fascinated by it, and I'm more or less built my life around being a druid. Most of the things I do in life are done purposefully, mindfully, and with making the world a better place in mind.
Well, I'm going to share something. The
Yes,
last
please do.
time we met with Jan over the coffee, we just couldn't stop talking. We were just heading from topic to topic, and Jan is such a fascinating storyteller. I was so amazed with all the stories he shared with me. So I absolutely recommend having a look and just learning from him, because he's the one who actually practices what he preaches.
Yeah, look, I remember that coffee very well. It was not too long ago. You were on
That's
fire as well,
actually,
Luna. You were on fire as well, and that's actually what we thought. Well, in the discussion, we said, okay, we're onto something here. Let's share this with the world, and that's what we're
yeah.
doing now. We had this this immediately with when we started talking, we rambled on, and like we do right now.
Well, it's never rambling if it's interesting, isn't it? And for me, it's
It's
fascinating.
fascinating, indeed, indeed. So, what do you do best, Luna?
Sorry?
What do you do best?
Oh my goodness. Well, actually, I'm best at cooking.
Cooking.
But
Okay.
yes, but I'm also pretty good with reading cards. And I was thinking perhaps
Oh,
we could pull some cards for those who are watching with maybe some guidance, or how would you feel about that? Pulling some tarot, because you said that you're specialized in tarot. And by the way,
it,
Jan is the best tarot reader in Ireland. Perhaps we should mention before that we're based in Ireland.
yes, we are.
Yes.
But we both
Uh,
work online, like we do now.
that's correct.
So,
That's correct.
so yeah. But I suggest you're the specialist in tarot and oracle reading.
I wouldn't call myself a specialist in tarot because I have a different approach to cards itself. I just use cards as a tool,
Mhm.
and just like being next to you, you're obviously my mentor when it comes to
Stop,
tarot.
stop, stop, stop. No, no, we're equals. Don't go there.
Well, but
Oh,
I love to read oracles and I love to connect with cards itself because
do
for
you have
me,
any at
as I
hand
said,
there?
card is a tool. Yeah,
Do
sorry.
do you have any at hand there? Any cards?
Yes, I actually have some cards prepared because I was showing that this topic will come out and that we can
Okay.
connect a little bit
Oh,
with cards. So I have actually something prepared here.
bring it on.
Think, yeah, thinking that showing it's the time some beliefs. I'm not sure if that resonates with Druids, but in paganism and in Will of Year, that time is also looked as the time where we actually can connect with our ancestors, when we can celebrate our
Yes,
ancestors,
we do. Yeah.
those who passed away. Some say that actually the veil is the thinner at this time, and it's very easy to connect with our ancestors. So I thought I'm going to bring some messages from heaven cards with a short message for those who are watching, with
Interesting.
a message from those who are in heaven, with those who are in non-physical realms.
Okay, bring it on.
So I am just shuffling the deck, and we'll see what is going to come out. Spirits. Oh, yeah, there is something here. It turned out immediately. Unfortunately, you couldn't see it. Oh my goodness. You won't believe. There
Oh,
is no time where I am. Time is only on the earth. And we were talking today about the time between the
between
time.
time. Yeah.
Yes. And with this sound clock here, and with this rose, the way I see it that somebody who's connecting from the realms of heaven is simply sending us so much love and so much light, reminding us as well that time is only an illusion. It's just a concept we humans have, but we as souls are infinite. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. I also see the colors here, the colors of the rainbow as well as the sunset. So
Hmm.
for me, Jan, that's another sign that we should do that sunset gathering on the winter solstice as well.
That's
For me
a nice
personally,
coincidence.
yeah, it's there's no such a thing as coincidence. But for me, rainbow is a sign of protection as well. So remember that we are all protected. And another rainbow came out as well here. It says, I am so much better now. So I feel that there is somebody who's worried about the person who's not there anymore. And the spirit is saying that they're happy. They are not in pain anymore, that there is no suffering where they are. I'm going to pull one more. I am really drawn, before I pull the card, I was really drawn to that image of the sun here as well. I
So,
hope
so much better now. Yeah.
yes. with the sun, it shows me like a new dawn, a new chapter as well. So that person is saying, that spirit I'm connecting here with is saying to focus on new chapters, new beginnings, even though right now it's maybe not the perfect time for growth in terms of the visible growth, because life is going back below the earth. We can't see the growth. It actually dies. The trees are letting go of the leaves, and it's a time for going inwards. However, this will lead to a new beginning. It's like a spring renews something. So there is a time of renewal coming. But it's important to focus on the inner light and finding the inner joy. And the last message is so beautiful. I am standing right next to you. So somebody is confirming here that even though they're not in the spirits, in the physical realm, they're still close. They're still next to us. Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's
That's
a
absolutely beautiful.
divine message.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually have shivers up and down my spine because like I immediately connected with my mom who passed away many years ago, and I can feel her presence even though she's not here for many years. As I said, I can still feel her being with me and guiding me and protecting me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm done here with that message because it was
Okay.
pretty deep and clear. Would you like to pull some cards?
Of course I can. Well, of course I already had one on the table. Of course, the card of the time of the year, the Hermit, the time of introspection, the time of going within, the time of thinking, and the next card on the top of my deck is the Two of Swords, and that confirms it. It goes to a different level. It's a minor card, so it's not as heavy as this one, but the level of here is closing your eyes, represented by the blindfold. So uh, we're always very involved in the things in the world. Turn off the news. Turn off the news. Close your eyes for a while. Not that the news is bad itself, but what it does to you. It takes it often takes a lot away from you. The news, a lot of inner peace, and this card represents the inner peace. The moon is shining, the waters are still. We are sitting quiet in meditation, finding our inner peace.
I love the way how you interpret that inner peace.
It's an an inside job. Yes, it's an inside
Yeah.
job.
Cutting away the distractions and protecting the energy. I love it.
Yeah. The next card. We have the moon again. The moon. Um, the moon is of course represented by the dark and the bright side, the cycles of life, the cycles of the month. You know more about it than me. What it in the tarot, it also means what I always say when I have the moon card. You may be in the dark night of the soul, but always remember, behind the horizon, there's a promise awaiting. That's the coming of the sun. So we're now in a moon energy for a while, but at the winter solstice we enter into the energy of the sun, and the sun will come over the horizon, and between the stones will light up the circle, and then return. And then my last card. What do we do when the sun is back? We celebrate.
We celebrate.
Three of Cups. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate with our friends, our family, with good friends. The cups are full to the brim. They're overflowing. We drink. We have fun. we're together.
Jan, for me, this is another confirmation of, yeah, let's do the winter solstice celebration together with the stone image on the moon card and the sun and the moon. I absolutely love those cards.
Yeah,
That's fabulous. Thank you very much for sharing. I'm
you're
fascinated by
welcome.
the way you read tarot. Uh, every tarot reader is different,
They are,
and
yeah, yeah. And
there's
I meet a lot of them. Where we're having peer groups where we talk together about the cards, and we all have our own interpretation. I have to, by the way, a, a small riddle, but I have to look the cards that would be there. So if you can bear with me for a second,
yes. In the
I'll look.
meantime, I'm actually pulling some cards with
Oh,
the
you pull a card.
guidance
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
yes
I'll pull
for
out. Then
upcoming
I'll make my
weeks.
riddle.
I dropped some cards here. All right. Oh my goodness, you won't believe it. The
Tell me.
card which came out is ancestral wisdom. And I've been
Well,
connected with ancestors, so I think that the spirit is it keeps continuing on this topic as well with connecting with the ancestors. We are your ancestors, and we love you. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. We walked the earth many years before you. We ask you at this point we ask you at this time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. I will show you the image of the card as well. I am really drawn to those windows here. It's just like their brains are the windows, and the imagery is very green. It's actually, I see like a trees, the crown of the trees as well, which represents to me life.
yeah. And of course, when you see the trees, not only we see life, but especially we as druids like the yew trees and the oak trees because they're so old. They are our ancestors.
Wow,
They are our
wow, that's
ancestors.
unbelievable.
But
Yeah,
it's a
there
lovely
was a
card, and I love
reason.
your interpretation of the oracle, which is indeed different than mine. But you're so spot on there. And
Thank you, thank you. There is another one which came out as well, and it says intuitive nudges. I will read the message because those messages are great, great guidance in itself. Intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and to our deep spirit. And for me, that summarized everything we talked about going within at this time, turning into ourselves rather
that
than
third eye,
looking for
yeah,
distractions. Yes, the third eye here is shown very, very strong. This person has actually eyes closed and he
again,
can
yeah,
see with the mind's eye. So I would say at this time is very important to pay attention to all those insights, all those feelings, all those nudges which come to us. Meditate, journal after what comes, because spirit will bring you guidance, will show you the way.
brilliant.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
I'm ready for some lightness now.
Yes, I am excited what you have in store for us.
Okay, we let me pick your brain. You know this card, obviously.
Yes, it's the high priest, isn't
The
it?
Hierophant. The Hierophant, it's called.
Hierophant. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the
Well,
Hierophant.
high
You know
priest,
what he represents?
hierophant.
Do you know what the Hierophant represents?
For me, that's commitment. For me, that's higher knowledge. For me, that's higher wisdom, tapping into that higher self, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah. Could you also agree that the Hierophant is the quintessential teacher?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And this card you know as well,
This is the chariot.
the Chariot. Yeah, the Chariot is about movement. Of course, there's there's a car, there's a chariot, and there's horses or sphinxes in this case pulling the chariot. And recently I did a career reading, and these were the first two cards that came out.
Very
Let
powerful to get
the
those cards in a
weather,
career
yeah.
reading.
You know what her profession was?
Tell me.
A driving instructor. Do you see it?
That's
The
brilliant.
quintessential
It's like,
teacher in the car, a driving instructor.
and that's what I love about cards and tarot. The spirit will always find a way of showing things and bringing things. And sometimes it's just literal, like in this case. I love it.
Yeah, me too. And like it was I said, "Oh, you're a teacher?" Yes, 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 I do teaching. And the thing was, the chariot was crossed over the Hierophant because she was not only a driving instructor, but she was also a teacher at some university as a side hustle. So that's why the chariot wasn't upright yet. And then the third card was about focusing. I said, maybe you should focus on your career and move forward. She says, oh, actually, I'm a driving instructor. That's my business. And
Wow.
it was so funny. It was so funny.
Yeah,
It was
that's
amazing.
mind blowing actually.
It
It's
is.
amazing. I love it. Thanks for sharing it,
You're
because
welcome.
that's pretty funny. I can imagine your face when she said, "I'm actually a driving instructor."
Yeah, it was so funny. And
Mhm.
that's kind of jokes that come up with the tarot occasionally, and I like jokes. We all like jokes, and we all like the
Absolutely.
lighter. We all like the lighter sides of the light side of spirituality as well. It's not only about silent and inner work, but it's also about laughing. Did you ever do a laughing meditation?
I did actually laughing yoga, which I absolutely love because it
It's so
brings so much joy.
Yeah, it does. It does, and
Tell me
even
more about laughing meditation, please. I've never come across that.
oh, just you sit together. The time I think we were 20 persons in a yurt, and the leader said, "Well, let's go laughing," and she started, and the woman next to her, and within a minute, all 20 of us were screaming and laughing, and it works, and it works so it's releasing everything. It's maybe you've ever seen this funny video of this quadruplets or that's or seven babies born at the same time, and one starts laughing, and and then it goes viral, and they all start laughing. It's the same when you do a laughing meditation session, and you come out like everything's gone then, because there's no time to worry, no time to think. There's only laughter.
For
It
me,
works it works the
laughter is
same
medicine.
it works the same
It's
as a
medicine.
mindfulness, a silent meditation. It's a medicine, and it's healing. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Well,
so
fantastic. Thanks for sharing. When you said about laughing, like when you started to laugh, I started to laugh immediately. What came to my mind is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Eat, Pray and Love movie or a book.
I
Uh,
yes, I've heard about it. I think I've seen the movie partially.
yes. And there is one spiritual teacher who lives in Bali, and he says to the main character, Liz, smile with your liver. And for me, that's super, like, I love this sentence, and I love this expression, because it's important that we laugh with our entire being, not just with our face,
It comes from
but
within.
also, yes, that it comes from within. So that's interesting. That image came to me while you were talking as well. But laughter is so important, and sometimes we get so serious in life, and we focus on so many aspects, like problems, challenges, that we forget that life is also about having fun, if not mainly about having fun and being joyful. That's the main purpose of life. Obviously, we need to try every single color of the palette of life, because that's what we came here to do as souls, as humans, to learn what it is, this color, and how that one tastes. However, just by bringing some lighter energy and a little bit of joke and a little bit of laughter, it makes the journey easier, isn't it? Doesn't it?
Luna, you're so wise. Thank
Right?
you for that.
What you see in me is only a reflection of you.
Well, again. It takes one to know one, Luna, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's the reason why we decided to have those conversations with other people, not just within ourselves, because we thought it's just too great not to share it. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. And we hope to see you here more often.
Yeah, definitely. We hope to see you more often. Um, we'll be back.
Please subscribe. Yes, please subscribe and
Yeah,
and join our
yeah,
family.
yeah.
So we could grow and share our love, our wisdom, and our laughter with each other. Please support us in this way, and we promise you a lot of knowledge in return,
Yeah.
a lot of
Definitely.
insights.
Yeah, and like you said, Luna, and at this moment, we're just starting this channel. This is our first video. It's so important for us to get subscribers, even if you're only here for once. But please subscribe and show us your appreciation and help us grow this channel. Yeah, that's perfect.
Thank
So
you, thank you, thank
yeah,
you,
thank you, Luna.
thank you, Jan.
Thank you, all who have been watching this. We're closing off. We'll be back. We plan to do this every Monday, 8 o'clock Irish London time, or 9 o'clock Amsterdam, Western European, Eastern, well, Middle European time. Um, and maybe how is that in Poland, for instance? Would it be an
Same
extra
as
hour?
Amsterdam.
Same as
Same as
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
So
Yes. So
where all our friends are
one
from.
clock.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
perfect.
correct. That's
So
correct.
this is it for today. See you next Monday. Same
I am
place.
so
Same.
looking forward to this.
Me too. Me too. Bye all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.